Do you also spend your home office time on conf calls? Then you know that your voice is all you've got to create the impact you want to have, right? Tune into a third out of a series of episodes with my vocal coach, Ines Moura. She will have explained in the first one what is voice coaching and why everybody needs it. In the second one, she gave us examples of exercises that she can do to help us recreate our voice for better impact. And in this one, we go into little tips and tricks, especially for COVID period and beyond, how you can be more impactful with your voice when working remotely. And so here's a little bit bonus question that we've just discovered that we could also address, which I haven't thought about initially, but obviously there's a bit COVID element to this. And as all of us spend our days while we're on the lockdown, spend our days on Zoom and calls and Skyping, most of the time without cameras on because we can't be bothered to do our makeup, etc. So the voice is even more the tool through which we are managing our business and careers. And so you've just shared with me that you get so much more requests for your support. So share a little bit more. What is the COVID consequences on the vocal coaching industry?
Yeah. So in this situation where people are working from home, they are discovering that the voice is really important, in the way they are transmitting the messages and showing confidence, because they don't have the rest, the body language. And I have like now a lot of requests of clients trying to work on it, because or they will have an interview or they have weekly meetings with the company or the client, or and how to establish the same rapport and empathy and connection through the voice when you are not in person, you are not seeing all the other details.
It's almost like you've lost several of your weapons and you're only left with this one. And I wonder, what is it that triggers the people to realize this and look for your services? Because normally, as I was saying in the previous episode, I would guess that most of the population think that their voice is preset and it's how it grew on us and it's never going to change. So I'm interested, what is it that gets people to realize that they can actually work on this? Is it because they receive feedback from somebody?
Yeah. Or because, oh, sorry, can you repeat? Or I'm not listening to you. Or can you speak slower? Or because they are like in the image, they sometimes, if you are with the window behind and you are all dark, you cannot see the lips moving. And it's a very important clue for video conference to understand. And so the words have to be clear. Also the pauses, because there's a delay in the audio, so you have to manage the pauses differently. And that's a lot of details that you have to manage when you are in a video conference.
And half of the time the technology disappoints us and cuts half of what we're saying. So that's even more important, the way we use the pauses, how we articulate what we're saying, etc., right? To make 100% sure that as we are responsible for sending out the message, to minimize the risk of being misunderstood.
Exactly. And the use of microphone, super important.
Yes,
and
totally.
even choosing the right room to make the video call, or of course the one that you can do it.
If we're blessed enough to choose the rooms, yes.
Because if you don't have any furniture, the voice will be super with like echo, and yes. So, and if you don't have a good microphone, if you are like in the kitchen, the voice is a disaster.
Yeah, totally. If you say we should use the microphone, does it mean microphone is always our friend? Yes. Or can it be that the microphone ruins things
no, when
we are using our Mac? I mean, most of the people would use the computer microphone without the headphones on, right?
It's always, I will recommend always to use the microphone because the voice, or just this kind of simple microphone, it doesn't have to be something professional, and then I have to, because it's really more, it has really more quality in others. So for you it's the same, but you have to put it in the other's shoes, and of course, if you can use it, a microphone, you should use it.
What do you think about the people who always say on the calls or even more at the conferences, well, when we're in our normal physical world, who are like, I don't need a microphone, my voice is strong enough, and then everybody's like, seriously, we would
That's
like to hear you better?
That's a huge mistake. Yes, of course, because you are listening to you well, but the others don't. They are not listening to you. So, of course, you have to think always in the other's perception, not only in the video conference, but when you speak in public. You know, if someone in the first row can hear you, but in the second or third or in the 10th doesn't hear you, you have, of course, to use a microphone or to make a question or something.
To conclude this little COVID parenthesis, what are the top 3 to 1 whatever advice you give to people when they really want to make sure that without going through a very complex process of fixing their voice and their public speaking, because they might not have the capacity and resources to do that now, but what are the quick fixes that you can recommend now for people to be better understood and more impactful when they're doing their video conferences now during the lockdown?
Mm-hmm. So I will recommend first, even if you don't are with the camera on, your position is very important, your body position. So try to be seated with support, you know, with your feet on the ground and your seat bones on the chair, and try to be more, not straight, but you know, with your position a little bit more open, because it will allow you to breathe better and to finish the sentences and to have more projection. So be seated in a position that allows you to speak with with power,
with the 90-degree angle, I guess, in your belly, in your knees, rather than lying down on the sofa or in your bed.
Exactly, because it will change the voice. And secondly, I would say the microphone, of course. Second tip is really get a microphone. It really changes everything in your life. And third, it's try to hear yourself and finishing the words. Because when there's lack of internet and sometimes the speech is a little bit cut, so it's even difficult when it happens. So finish the sentence, finish the word, have like this clarity. Don't be in a rush, because when you are in a rush, people will miss 30% of what you said, especially in the end of the sentence. So short sentences, be clear, make a little pause, and ask for feedback if everyone is getting the message.
Excellent, very useful. Thanks so much. And so good luck with everybody that you're trying to save on video conferences now. So how do you feel about your voice and vocal coaching now? Leave a comment underneath the video so that I see what are your main takeaways, or if you still have some questions pending so we can get back to you. Also share the link with everybody who you think could benefit from some help with their voice when communicating online and offline. And last but not least, click on the subscribe button so that you're informed about future episodes coming up with people influencing the future of leadership in European Union. Bye!